Woo-hoo-hoo. And we're live once again on another Tuesday. And I have one of my favorites, all-time favorites in the house today. I got Jeff Young, aka the LinkedIn Guru. And we have a good topic today. But Jeff, before we get stuck in, can you just please introduce yourself, just in case there's somebody on LinkedIn who does not know you? I can't imagine why or how. But do it anyway.
I'm sure there's quite a few of those. All right. Namaste. My name is Jeff Young. I am the LinkedIn Guru. My network called me that anyway, originally about 16 years ago. And it was a process of someone coming up and shaking a finger at me and saying, Jeff, you're a real guru at this LinkedIn stuff. And I went, guru, yeah, I like the sound of that, so I'll keep it. When I looked up guru in the dictionary, it says the word teacher. And that's exactly what I've always been for most of my life anyway. And now I've been teaching LinkedIn for 16 and a half years. So I'm going to keep doing it till I get it right. And that's part of the reason, by the way, that I've got the last son of Krypton behind me back here, because I have also introduced myself many times by saying, hi, I'm Jeff Young. I'm a teacher. What's your superpower? Okay. I haven't done that in a long time, Julie. I felt good. That really did feel good.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So yes, you are Superman. So that's great. That's great. So our topic today is 7 ways to support your LinkedIn tribe. And just so everybody knows what tribe means, I'm going to go ahead. This is Jeff's definition. Tribe is together really is better for everyone. And I love that. I love that because it's all about support, and you do support so many people, Jeff, on LinkedIn, off LinkedIn, with seminars and all the wonderful things that you do for free, getting paid with smiles and chocolates and all that other good stuff. So let's pop right in to the first one, because I want to get cracking and make sure we cover it. So one of the ways that you can support your LinkedIn tribe is liking and commenting on posts. So Jeff, how do you organize yourself to do that?
Well, I do it by being there every day. I also do it by ringing people's bell so that I know when they posted. And as a matter of fact, that's kind of, okay, sorry, teacher mode. Okay, sorry for just a second. That's actually one of the changes that LinkedIn has made here recently. And I've actually had people coming to me and ask me, hey, how come I'm not seeing somebody's posts anymore? I was seeing them fine and I'm not seeing them now. Well, LinkedIn just made a change to the bell, okay, that is on everybody's profile. Now, you don't have a bell on your own profile. You go ring someone else's bell. But they made a change that the default for it now is not all posts. The default for it now is most relevant posts. So as a teacher on LinkedIn, I recommend that everybody out there, if you've got somebody that you really, really want to make sure that you go see you get notified about every single one of their posts, then what I would like you to do is go to their profile, go up to the bell, look at the bell, tap the bell, make sure the bell is now a double bell. Because double bell means all, single dark bell means most relevant, and no bell means I don't want to hear it. Okay. So you can actually turn it off, of course, as well. But that's kind of how I do that. Okay.
And relevant is interesting because that's what LinkedIn deems relevant. It's like they're choosing. Yeah. They're choosing.
That's right. And I don't really like to let LinkedIn choose for me. Although, again, I feed LinkedIn what I think is the right stuff on my profile so that they'll feed me what I want to see, right? But as far as getting those posts and those concerns, and that makes a huge difference to me. Now, by the way, like and comment on posts. I don't know whether you do this or not. It's just become a very big habit of mine, is that I will always react and I will also comment. I almost always do them both. There's very seldom that I would go out there and just hit the like button, because again, we know because of the almighty algorithm that like is good, but comment is a whole lot better, right? And so I spend most of my time doing this thing. Number one, on LinkedIn, I'm going out there and I'm looking at and monitoring and watching my tribe, okay? And my tribe includes a whole lot of different kinds of people. But the tribe that I'm talking about now is the tribe that I've got the people that are on speed dial, so that I go look at their posts pretty much every single day. And even though they may post every day, I might not comment every day. but I will at least comment, sometime during the week so that I can interact with them. Do you do the same thing?
Oh yeah, and it's never too late. It's like rarely do I get. I'm never the first to comment on anyone's post. Sometimes it can be a couple days later, but there's also a kind of like there's always a win-win. And what I find is if I don't like a post, because I like it first and then I comment, and I know other people, they comment first and then they like it, whatever. I just do what's best for me. So I like it or love it or whatever. I react to it. And then I put my comment. And the selfish thing is, if I ever see that post again, if I haven't reacted, then I know I didn't comment. It's like, oh, because I can't remember all the time. So I might see something that like, so-and-so reacted to Jeff's post that mentioned you. Well, if I go back in and I see that I've already liked it, then I know I'm on top of it. Otherwise, I might go, did I see this? And now I'm double commenting. So it helps do that.
Well, it also helps me keep track of where I am on the post as well. When I come back to your posts, because I will come back to the post that is for this live, because you and I both go out and we'll answer comments again, right? Because we always do that. That's the way we support our tribe, is to go out there and interact and actually, do the Jean-Luc Picard on them. Engage. Okay, so make sure that you're actually out there and doing something with them. But it also helps me to see whether or not I've actually got all those comments taken care of, because it's not only my comment on your post, but it's comments about other people. I react to those as well, and sometimes comment on those. Right. Especially if it's live, because most of the comments are directed at both of us if it's alive.
Yes.
Sometimes not, but most of the time.
Yes. Okay. So that's a good one. So the second one is skills endorsement. This is just such a kind thing that you can do for people. So what are your thoughts on this?
I love skill endorsements. I use skill endorsements all the time that I don't think people expect them. I think it's a nice surprise if LinkedIn is actually smart enough to actually notify. I don't get any notifications that I've gotten any skill endorsements anymore. So I don't know whether people are endorsing them for them or not. I haven't really checked. Okay. But I go out and I'll endorse someone for at least their top couple of skills, because they had, they put those skills at the top. So if I believe they have them, I'll go ahead and endorse those skills. A lot of people poo-poo this one because they think it's like quid pro quo and blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I do it because I think they deserve the endorsement for the skill. And so that's really, to me, again, a really easy way to, a visit to their profile, scroll down to their skills section, tap, I give them the skills that I believe they have. And I'm not trying to game any system here. That's not my point. I'm just trying to give credit where credit is due. And that's what skill endorsement is really all about.
Yes. And I think if you know anybody in your tribe who is job hunting, the kindest thing that you could do for them is give them a skills endorsement. We'll go on to the next one, which is, of course, recommendations, which is kind of it's leveling up. Wouldn't you say, Jeff?
Yeah, I guess, in terms of, and I don't know if this is true from the algorithm standpoint, just from the standpoint of me looking at a person's profile, okay, or a recruiter. I've heard this from Tina as well. Tina Jarvis, our Brussels headhunter on your side. Okay, that recommendations are important, especially when someone gets to their profile and starts looking at, because of the fact that it's someone else who said it, and it takes a lot more time, and you should take, if you do it right, should take more thought than giving a skills endorsement. I mean, a skill endorsement is yes or no, I think they have it, okay? A recommendation is, I'm saying that this is what this person does, this is what they do well, here's why they do it well, et cetera. And for sure that, and by the way, I almost never endorse someone who is a brand new connection, okay? Unless I've known them for quite a while, connected, okay? So you and I, for example, I know I gave you a recommendation years ago, okay? It was just years ago. It's still out there. It's still, it's still there, but it's farther down now because you've gotten quite a few more recommendations. But I gave you that recommendation after you and I got to know one another. Now, again, that could be years ago because you and I connected in like April of 2020. We connected right about the time COVID started, right? So it's just a matter of doing that. But recommendations, I think, are they're gold. They really are. I am. I gotta say this. It's a thank you right now to you, of course, because you gave me one a long time ago as well. But one of my proudest recommendations I'm proudest of is one of the last ones that I got, which was quite a while ago, but it was by somebody that I know, like, and respect to the utmost, and that was Kevin D. Turner. Kevin actually gave me a recommendation. I'm going, bless you, my son. It was amazing because Kevin doesn't give very many recommendations. And that's another thing that made it extremely important to me.
That's nice. That's nice. And I think it's important that the recommendations, like you said, you're putting your reputation on the line, because we always have to remember those recommendations, where a skill endorsement is a drive-by, like you go in and you could never visit their profile again, whatever. And it's just a one-shot deal. But those recommendations, the flip is people can go to your profile and see the recommendations that you've given. So you wouldn't want to say, okay, this is my blurb I use, and I just copy and paste it and I use it on every single person. It's like, it has to be something that now your reputation's on the line, because you're basically saying, I kind of endorse this person. I really am saying this is a person I recommend. And, so you do need to know that person and know them in the capacity of what you're writing the recommendation for. So if you've never been their client, don't say, don't use verbiage that would be like that. Say, working with them and being on a webinar together, or, whatever that context is, make it context relevant. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Because the recommendation I gave you is because I was a client of yours.
Yes.
You had done videos for me. So I'm going, yep, she did this and she did this. And I'm amazed that she did this. That kind of stuff. I think it's great. Now, also, by the way, from the standpoint of tribe, again, if you're looking at this in the right mindset and the right attitude, here's another thing that I strive for. I don't think it's exactly correct out there anymore, but I also strive to give 2 recommendations for every one that I get. It's not meant necessarily to be reciprocal. Okay. You should not. And that's another thing that I don't really like when I see it on somebody's profile, is that, oh, this person gave them a recommendation. Oh, that person gave one right back. Okay. Again, that gets into quid pro quo thing again. So I don't really like it when I see that. You can't help it. Sometimes it's that way. But I literally give a recommendation without expecting anything reciprocal in return at all. And that's why I have almost double the size. I've given double the number that I've received.
Yes. And so, yes, don't have an agenda. The person doesn't owe you. And I actually once gave somebody they gave me a recommendation, and I just naturally said, I feel, I would like to recommend them as well. And I wished I had done it first. And that person actually said, I really love your recommendation, but I am actually going to hold off on posting it and accepting it onto my profile, only because I don't want it to look like we were trading. And I went, okay, that was that. I totally understood that, but never feel like, well, I gave them a recommendation. Why didn't they give me one?
Exactly.
It's not meant like that.
The wrong attitude, right? Well, and by the way, that person doing that, that's a little difficult to do, because the recommendation that comes back from you is just in a DM. Okay. So they've got to find a way of saving that DM somewhere so they don't miss it, because I've actually had people that I've given recommendations to, and they never put it on their profile because they wanted to wait for a little while, but they waited for a little while, then they couldn't find it again. Okay? Exactly. So it can be a double-edged sword there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So the next one, celebrating milestones and achievements. And actually right now it's kind of, there's so many you could be doing, because like LinkedIn's got this whole catch-up feature, but like milestones and achievements, that could be anything from birthdays. It could be anniversaries. Somebody's been on LinkedIn for 10 years with their business or something like that. Maybe they wrote a book, or, something, they got a new job, something like that. So how do you feel about this one, Jeff?
I use it. But I used it long before LinkedIn finally gave me, after announcing it 4 months beforehand, they finally gave me the catch up tab on my network. Right. Okay. And the link still works. It still goes to it. I use it really primarily to celebrate birthdays. Now, the reason I use it to celebrate birthdays is because I like reaching out to a person on their birthday, wishing them a happy birthday, because it starts so many conversations. It's great. And you're right, you can do it for job change. You know, somebody's changed jobs, that's out there on the catch up. The work anniversaries are out there on the catch up. I don't think those are that important. I'll also say one other thing about this. Okay, so first of all, one key process is that you mentioned a couple of things that are not part of the catch up. Great. Those are things that actually mean somewhat more to some degree, because you weren't prompted to do it in the first place, right? You just did it out of the goodness of your heart. So celebrating somebody's new book is a fabulous thing, because LinkedIn's never going to tell anybody that you just wrote your book. Okay. So, you know, I like to be the first person who reviews your book every single time it goes out there. I'm not very good at it here lately, but I like to be the first person. And oh, by the way, since we're on the topic of book, I'm going to publicly thank you for sending me a signed copy of your book. I am very much looking forward to having that at the beginning of next week. Thank you. The other thing is that please, if you're going to use the catch-up tab, if you're going to use, you know, birthdays, work anniversaries, etc., please don't live the LinkedIn default life. Do not use LinkedIn's stupid default. Congratulations on your anniversary of 16 years at whatever you do. Okay.
So meh.
No, it is. It's so, that's a perfect word for it. Meh. Okay? It doesn't really mean anything. Now, a lot of people, you know, so a good person that we both know over in Oman, okay, he had a birthday recently. They got a whole bunch of birthday wishes. They even mentioned the fact that, well, okay, probably 85% of them were the standard, you know, just happy birthday from LinkedIn, right? But she really appreciated the ones who actually went out there and took the time to send her a personalized greeting on their birthday. It means so much, people. I mean, you know, I stopped counting. I don't have birthdays anymore. Well, it's because my age and my IQ are getting so close together now that I stopped having them. So I'm gonna wait till they pass one another. But I really enjoyed, you know, getting a personalized note. And as a matter of fact, you know, again, a personalized note. Here's a great opportunity to use that audio message, because that's definitely not the LinkedIn default life, right?
No. And I love to do videos. So I like to do birthday videos. So I'll sometimes do those for sort of the special people. You know, I'll do a video. And also too, I did see a post like literally like maybe 2 or 3 days ago. And somebody said that they got all these, you know, wonderful birthday congratulations. And he said he was really surprised though at such a high level of spam, that people were like, you know, congratulations, it's your birthday. By the way, here's my $5,000 course. You know, and it was, and he just said, you know, spamming on a good day is not nice. Spamming on somebody's birthday, that kind of stinks.
Yeah, tagging onto a birthday. I mean, that's a capital offense as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, string them up.
Yes, absolutely. So let's go, and I'm going to make sure that I don't lose my place, but we will come back. So I'm going to turn that off. So just remember, we're coming back after and doing 5, 6, and 7. And so I just want to go ahead and acknowledge people. So of course, we have you in the front row, even when you're sitting in the co-pilot seat. So that was just so funny that you can be the first comment anyways. But we have Mary Wu sitting in your seat today. She's in the front row, and she has her popcorn ready to share with everybody. So thank you for being here, Mary.
And top shelf.
Yeah. And we have the lovely Kevin Turner in. He is in the lobby. Knock, knock, knock. Let me in. So it's wonderful to see Kevin. So hopefully your ears were burning when Jeff said nice things about you today. And speaking of nice things, we got nice John Asperian here today. He says, I see you on LinkedIn, and hopefully you can see me this time. So now we don't have a big black screen like last time John saw, and he shows up as a real head, not the gray head anymore. So that's really good. So thanks for joining us today, John. Hope you're cooking up a storm over there. And we have Marianne Avery, who was on our show recently, and looking forward to this one. So yay. Thank you so much, Marianne, for being being here. And it was a lovely chat we had not too long ago. And we have Mindy Stern here. Hooray for the tribe. And I love Mindy. She's been doing videos. She's been doing videos about my book. And it was just absolutely awesome. And it's like, I love when people just go, you know what? I'm at the airport. Let's make a video. So it's just, it's just so wonderful.
And that's kind of that's coming. We're going to be talking about that kind of thing as for one of the last ones.
Yes. So Kevin says, L's, bells, and double bells. Yes. And so those bells, I'm glad that LinkedIn's finally doing something, because
make sure the double bell. It does work. It really does. When somebody actually turned on the double bell, they said, yes, Jeff Young solved my problem. And I'm going, that's why I'm here.
Exactly. So Mary Wu says, and how many cool people have you met in the comments section? And that is, again, you're supporting the author of the post. You're supporting other commenters on the post. So it's like, now there's like 2 things that you're doing with those comments and likes. And also too, the win-win is you can meet people and network. It's a party. Like LinkedIn Lives are a party anyways, but like any post is a party of discussions and conversations, because it's just such a great event.
Absolutely. One of the things that I didn't mention, and thanks for reminding me, Jillian, is that a lot of times what I will do is I will actually copy and paste a portion of the post, a phrase from the post, and put it in my comment. Because that gives me the opportunity to tell that person that posted it how much that meant to me and why it meant so much to me. Okay, so it's really giving back to that person because they gave to you, right?
Yes, absolutely. And Kevin says, sweet. Thank you, Jeff and Jillian. You both rock. So that's sweet. And Mary Wu says, okay, so how many flipped over to Jeff's profile to see the wonderful recommendation from Kevin D. Turner? So that's nice. And I do. And again, you could have flipped over to Kevin's, because you could look and see, and it's just a good way to learn about people, what people say, and then what they say about other people. So again, if you're going to meet with somebody, go read their recommendations, because it really gives you an insight into somebody's
and you get ideas about how to give your own as well.
Yes, absolutely. So Namatama says, wow, Jeff Young, the LinkedIn guru, is finally here. Great to see you in action, Jillian Whitney. So she's only seen you in the comments, and now she gets to see you up on the stage.
I realize,
and she's, see how people just meet each other in the comments all the time. It's absolutely wonderful. And Mindy says, it is better to give than receive. Absolutely. That is the way that we want to be with this, is giving and receiving. So let me hop back to our rest of our 7, because I want to make sure we get them all in today. So the next one is stay in touch. And that's what, DMs are not about spam. DMs are about building relationships, connecting with other people, having conversations. And it's such a great running track record. I did a video about that the other day. I remembered how I met Sarah Clay only because it was documented in the DM. So that is everything. So Jeff, let's talk about some things, how you've used to stay in touch with people.
Well, it's kind of how we use, to stay in touch with people. We've got several different conversations going along, and there may be 3 or 4 different people in the conversation. Okay, so we've got our monthly Zoom call conversation. You and Kevin and I have Jillian would like to connect conversation, okay? Because that's how it got started, is that, I sent a message to Kevin and said, Jillian would like to connect. So I think one of the beauties of it is, yes, it works great on a one-on-one basis as well, but it's also got a great application for a group conversation. The group conversations, well, there's a couple of others that Kevin and I both belong to, and I think you do too, that are actually titled LinkedIn experts. Okay, yes. I didn't create that conversation, by the way, because I don't ever consider myself to be an expert. But the point being is, it's got 25 to 30 different people in it who contribute and talk about all the new things that are going on and how they might be able to use them. And it's a really good place to learn from. Okay, yes. So again, staying in touch like that is easy to do, because again, it's just processing. It's like, I really, honest to goodness, never used to enjoy getting emails. I still don't, okay? But I really don't mind getting DMs. Okay,
No,
because they're a conversation instead of a message that's a one-off kind of thing.
I
Okay, so
agree. I agree.
I get more DMs than I get emails, which
Yes.
probably is
Yes.
unusual, I would think.
And don't use these staying in touch to I posted, please go like.
No,
I've
no, no,
had those
no,
and
no.
I don't like those, but these are, hey, I had to go to the hospital last night. I wanted to let you guys know I'm not well. I'm going to be off LinkedIn for a while. I just wanted you to be aware. Those are the kind of things where you maybe just want to reach out to people, or maybe we've reached out to people and we said, hey, I haven't seen you posting for the last 3 weeks. We're just checking in. Is everything okay? Those are some ways that you can stay in touch too. And a lot of times people will have stuff going on in their life they don't necessarily want to put out on the public stage,
Exactly.
like maybe my father's in the hospital and, we don't know if he's going to make it in the next 3 days. Those are the kind of things where you don't want to have that out on LinkedIn. I remember when my dog died, I let a couple people know and I said, I'm really feeling like I could just use a little support right now with the people that know my dog and,
Yep.
know how much he means to me. But I didn't want to do the whole public post because that's
Yep.
just not my style.
No, and again, you know that other people, if you know the other people well enough, you know that they probably had a dog and they've had a dog that's passed as well, right?
Yes.
So they know how you're feeling and they know that you just lost a family member, and it makes a big difference. So
Yes.
yeah.
And it's happy things too, because when I went away and I went to the UK, I was sending you videos, Jeff,
Yeah,
that
you were.
they
And
did
pictures
not
of
make the
everything.
public.
Yes,
Yeah.
great.
And I would say, okay, here's Tina and I. We just wanted to send you a message. And
Yep.
here's me and Nigel. We're
I,
at a pub,
I can't tell you how much I appreciated the phone booth.
Yes. So that's just a brilliant way. So staying in touch, sometimes it's a benefit for you, but support other people and just let them know things, what's going on with you. Maybe you notice things, reach out and touch someone. It used to be a commercial here in the
Yeah, well,
United States,
yeah, I
long
think it
time
is.
ago.
Yep.
Phones, nobody has those anymore. Okay,
Yep.
make introductions. We just talked about one a second ago with
Kind
Kevin
of, yeah,
Turner.
but
But so tell us about introductions.
this one is honestly, for years and years and years, I have taught,
Taught.
or maybe preached, okay, about the fact that this is how LinkedIn is really supposed to be used. To me, the best use of LinkedIn I can ever make is find someone who's got a need, find someone who can fulfill that need, and put those two people together. It's so easy to do. You're connected with both of them anyway. You send them both a DM and say, hey, Jillian, you need to talk to Kevin. And Kevin, you need to talk to Jillian. And guess what can happen after that? Okay.
Yes.
As they say, the rest is history. And I
Yes.
love to do that. I try to do that as often as possible. I could do it more, but I wish I could do it more. But I think it's an absolutely outstanding use of LinkedIn.
I agree. And the thing is that you don't even have to stay in the conversation. Once both people comment, then you can say, okay, I'm going to step out of the conversation. I hope you guys get together. And then you're done. You leave the conversation so that you don't continue to get the bings and the dings. And usually what will happen is those people they'll go out and connect with each other, and it just kind of gets it going. So you get to leave the conversation
Yep.
and just let them be. And sometimes things don't come from it. They just, they can kind of like fizzle out. And sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, now this is my brand new best friend. Thank you so much for doing this. So it's okay to ask, and it's okay to also be the person who gets asked. These are
Yep.
great ways. And again, especially if you know somebody who is job hunting and they're trying to, build a network or this and that. And they might say, hey, I'm going to have an interview at this company, or these are some companies I'm looking at. And you say, well, actually, I know somebody who works in, the accounting department. So it's not HR, but maybe they can give you some information about the company, and it's just a good person that you could get to know. So wonderful. Okay.
Absolutely.
Last but not least,
Lucky number
shout
7.
out post. So explain what that is, Jeff.
Well, to me, that is a post that, well, I might actually make a post that is my post that I might be talking about nothing but your book. Okay, I've done it. Okay, I did that on your previous book. I don't think I did it on this one. But really, it's really just a shout out for someone else, or it's a shout out because of something that someone else did for you, etc. Okay, or it's just plain, it's just a plain shout out to give someone else credit for
Mm,
doing something. Okay,
mm,
I love, I gotta mention our buddy in the UK, John. Okay, because John comes up with some of these great tips, and occasionally you got to give that credit back to that guy. Okay, because he's doing this all the time. He has taught me more than anybody else probably out here on LinkedIn, except for maybe you and Kevin in terms of what's new. Okay, as an example. But John has taught me not only how to do something on LinkedIn, because he gets down there in the nitty gritty. He's as nerdy as I am and gets down there in the nitty gritty. And they don't call him the LinkedIn geek for nothing. Okay, so the LinkedIn nerd for nothing. Okay, but he knows exactly how it works, and then it can explain it to you and why it might be a good idea for you to try it as well, right? So giving somebody a shout out like that is perfect. I think if you're giving someone credit, it's perfect. I also like to, and I usually ask permission, but I also like to take a quote from somebody and put it out there as well. Another
mm,
person that I love to quote, honestly, because I'm talking about connecting to someone all the time, is our buddy Angus Grady, also from the
mm.
UK. And I will quote him constantly because I love this quote of his. Okay, and this is really applicable to connecting and supporting others. Okay, it says your connections don't have to add up, they just have to count. Quote unquote.
Ah, ah.
Doesn't that mean that is so cool? That just really speaks to me. Okay. Every single one of your connections has to count. They don't necessarily have to be a big number, but they have to count. And that, I think
Nice.
that's great.
Nice, nice. And shout out posts can be simple. There's like even a LinkedIn kudos that,
Yep.
it's just,
True.
it's a template. And so if you just wanted to do, and you said, I'm not a creative person, I just want to do something, that's the easiest thing. And you know what? Even the simplest little thing will make people feel really, really good. Nobody is
Absolutely.
going to ever say, oh, why'd you do that? And everybody's always going to love that. You can just do a text post. You could just do a graphic. You could take I think you've done this where you've done something for me. You just took my LinkedIn profile photo and you put it up and then you just wrote something. And so it can be as simple as that. It can also be as amazing as, speaking of John Asperian again, the Friday shout.
Yep.
He, yeah,
Absolutely.
he
Perfect
actually
example.
owns the hashtag. I know he doesn't actually own it, but it's like the Friday shout. It's every single week,
Yes.
Friday, it's
Yes.
out there. He publishes it. And
Yes.
now he's doing these Friday shout reboots. Every once in a while, he does a reboot for somebody. I think this week it was maybe Sarah Burgess. I'm hoping it was. And it's like just somebody who's like, they've done something and he did them again because times have changed. He's doing it for 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, he's been
And
doing this for
I
4 years.
love the thing at the bottom where he says, don't ask for a Friday shout because that's not how it works.
Yes, exactly. That's, don't ask to be nominated. Don't nominate yourself. That's not going to work. That's not, well, that's the epitome of a shout out post right there. That's probably
Yes.
the perfect example.
And he does a video and he goes through somebody's profile and shows, hey, here's
Yeah.
the top. And he actually told me that he got that idea from me when I was doing follow the LinkedIn leader. And he went, wow, why aren't I using video?
Yeah.
So
Well,
he actually,
I
he
can believe
got
it.
that from me.
Way back in the day, they were just text posts, and sometimes they would have a picture
A
of their profile
graphic.
on it or something. Exactly. But yeah, he's changed it over to now it's much more interactive, and it's showing you much more of the person that he's trying to give the shout out to as well. And again,
Yes.
it's a perfect example.
Yes, yes. And I would like to also thank all the people that have done some shout outs for my book, which is, again, can be just a simple graphic of like, here's my book, on your bookcase with all the other books, which makes my book happy because it's got a new home. G did a wonderful video. Mindy did a video, just so many different things. Michelle Griffin, she did a live yesterday and we talked about it. So just so many different ways that you can shout out your colleagues and support people with shout out posts on so many different things. So wonderful, wonderful way to go. So let's see. We got we kind of went over time. So we've
I kind of noticed that, yes.
we've gone through we got through all of our 7 today, which was amazing. So again, 7 ways to support your LinkedIn tribe. Jeff, is there any kind of final words of wisdom you want to give to us before we head out today?
I think I sum it all up by really just having the right mindset on LinkedIn. I know this may sound trite, it might sound a little syrupy, whatever, but make it about the other person. If you're out there to support other people, I guarantee you're going to get that support back. It's happened to me millions of times, it seems like, and I almost always get more back than I give as well. So, make it about the other person, make it something that is supporting your network. And if you support your network, you will never spend a lonely day in your life. I guarantee you, especially on LinkedIn. Okay, because there will be people pounding down your door in order to help you. It happens every time.
I love that. I love that. What goes around comes around. So
Bingo.
it is so true. It is so true. So Jeff, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for everybody who has joined us today. And we look forward to you coming back next week for another LinkedIn Live with Jillian and Friends. Bye, everybody.
Namaste.